In your pre-brief, you said you wanted to explore the content of teaching the students to tell time to the hour. You stated you use the pedagogies of visual learning, classroom discussion, hands-on learning, question and answer, similarities and differences, independent student work, and guided practice. Having enacted the lesson, do you think this is what you explored?
Yes, having enacted the lesson, I think I explored the concept of telling time to the hour with the students. I went through all of my pedagogy. We did the visual learning, which was using the Envision Math, the classroom discussion, hands-on learning using the small analog clocks, the manipulatives. We did question and answer. We did the individual student work, and we also did guided practice. Yes, we went through the entire lesson. The students had a good grasp of telling time to the hour, so we are going to go ahead and move forward with telling time to the minute.
In your pre-brief, you said you envisioned the lesson unfolding after the morning meeting with a quick review of yesterday's math lesson. You also display an analog clock on the smart board, and then explain the difference between the long hand and short hand on the clock. And at the end, after going through exercises, utilizing your pedagogies, you would test the student's ability to tell time to the hour with worksheets. Did the lesson unfold as you envisioned?
It actually did. There was a few modifications I made to the lesson. I actually switched the positioning of the brain break. So I gave the students the brain break after the morning meeting, so I could try to attempt to, I guess, tie the whole lesson together and separate the morning meeting from the Envision Math lesson. I also moved around or modified the lesson with the analog clocks. I brought out the manipulatives after we did the Envision Math, thinking that it would tie it together. And that was the only modifications I made. Other than that, the lesson went off as planned.
In your pre-brief, you said when the lesson was enacted, you wanted learners to walk away with the ability to tell time to the hour. Do you think this is what they did walk away with?
I believe so. From looking at their work, one more modification I made on question number 2. I actually, instead of having the students do the enhanced work, I actually graded the enhanced work. And from there, going back to question number 3, I actually figured out that students had a really good grasp on it. After I did the assessment, the students were completing the task really, really fast. So I had them go ahead and do that, and I also graded the enhancement work, or the enrichment work, sorry. And after I looked at the enrichment work, the students were able to do some sort of like little coloring activity I had, just in case they got done with everything faster than the time allotted. So the lesson plan went off very well. I think my students walked away learning how to tell time to the hour. So like I said, I think we're going to just go ahead and move forward with the telling time to the minute. During the assessment of it, like after I got done grading the papers, I noticed we had maybe out of 21 students, we have 4 students that didn't get 100%. So I'm thinking that a lot of my students actually did get the lesson. I'm planning on going back and reteaching the lesson with those students, those 4 students. I'll try to pull them in a small group and reteach the lesson before tomorrow's lesson.